Mercy is out in theaters, new science fiction thriller with Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. The story starts with an exposition dump. It is the near future. Crime and homelessness and unrest in Los Angeles have gotten out of control, which led to establishing essentially a ghetto for the poor and an AI-based court system. If you're accused of a crime and the calculated probability of guilt is above 80%, an AI trial is triggered. You have 90 minutes. Why exactly 90 minutes, by the way? Who knows? You have 90 minutes to use all the resources of the seemingly omniscient, surveillance-based police state to review and find evidence and clear yourself of guilt. If you fail, like all people fail, you are electrocuted by the chair you sit in at the end of the 90 minutes. And then Chris Pratt wakes up in this chair. He's a police detective who has put multiple people in there before. Now he's accused of murdering his wife, but he can't remember the last couple of hours of his life and he struggles desperately to prove his innocence. So basically a poor man's Minority Report. So I gotta say, the best thing about this movie is its honesty and accuracy between the marketing and the actual product. The trailer looked like this was going to be a shit film, and it is a shit film all the way through. First of all, the plot is just a mountain of nonsense. Why 90 minutes for the trial? Why do you have to prove innocence as opposed to someone else proving your guilt? Why is the villain's plan so needlessly convoluted and stupid? And how it all holds together, I'm not sure. Why is Chris Pratt's character so damn unlikable? It's like they wanted to check every box of, okay, do we give him something that the audience can sympathize with him for? Nah, let's just make him an asshole. For that matter, why is every character in this film so unlikable? I mean, every single person is to some degree an asshole and there's nobody to root for. Why are there so many unnecessary plot twists, with the final one just making my eyes roll? Why does Chris Pratt in the climax suddenly become acting chief of police and is able to give orders to everyone? Why is the messaging of the film so fucking awful? It starts with AI bad, which, isn't the wrong message, but it's delivered with the subtlety of a hammer to the head. But then it ends with everyone makes mistakes, AI. That's what makes us human. That's almost a verbatim line spoken by Chris Pratt. Yay! There's absolutely no condemnation or even addressing of the setup of the absolute Big Brother police state, or the ghetto for the poor, or the privacy being gone as everyone has to be connected to City Cloud all the time. In fact, the ending of the film tries to sell that as kind of a good thing because it allows the heroes to save the day. Fuck that shit. Then there's the execution. This is a film which on the poster boasts about being shot for IMAX. But it's just Chris Pratt sitting in a chair and Rebecca Ferguson delivering a performance on a webcam. I mean, I don't fault them for taking the money. It seems like the easiest acting job ever. But why is this movie being pushed in theaters where it's so visually flat and boring? Even the way the sifting through the evidence and the footage and the screens and the recordings and calls it is shown, that is all vastly inferior to the two movies that have come out in the past couple of years, Searching and Missing, with both of which have the gimmick of telling their entire story through screens of electronic devices, and they are both riveting and fun. Mercy is just infuriatingly stupid, and listen, if you give me a stupid movie, at least make it fun. This is not fun. It's boring and predictable and a complete waste of time. Stay away from this one.